Hello students of class 7 and welcome back to your online class. We have already completed one poem and one prose from your text. Today we would be continuing with the main course book and we would be doing something new. We would be taking upon a new genre, that is a comic book. Okay, we are going to read a story which is written in the form of a comic book in comic strips. So how many of you read comic books? When I was your age, I was a big fan of a comic series which is still very popular. I don't know if you read that. It was Tintin. Okay, it was very I used to read so many of them. Now similarly, the comic which is given, Gopal and the Hilsa fish, Gopal Bhar's comic, that also we read a lot. Okay, so comic book, what is a comic book? You get a book in a very entertaining form with pictures, graphical representations of characters. Sometimes the dialogues are given, sometimes the picture tells all. So it's about your vision. It's your visual power as well as your understanding power. So the comic book is actually a very entertaining piece of writing, right? So it's a comic book, it's a graphical book, it's a graphical chapter, prose piece. It's entertaining and it has a pictorial representation of a humorous story. Humorous means something which is funny. Okay, something which is fun for us. We can have a lot of laugh because of it. So Gopal and the Hilsa fish is today's lesson. Let us try to understand the picture and let us try to proceed with the story. So Gopal and the Hilsa fish, something very common. This fish is very common among us in our community. All of us savor delicious fish, right? In West Bengal, it's very common that everybody likes to eat fish. Even those who are vegetarian, even there, they know how important fish is to the community. Okay, it doesn't matter if you eat fish or not, but you can always enjoy this beautiful story about Gopal Bhar and his clever encounters. Okay, so let us begin the story. Open page number, I think it is page number 36 in your main course book. Okay, and let us start the story. See the first picture which is given. We can see that it's a boat and the boat contains some fishermen who are busy in placing the net on the water and grabbing the fish. They are sitting on the boat. It was the season for Hilsa fish. Fishermen could think of nothing but Hilsa fish. It was the season when Hilsa fish comes the most, that is during and before the monsoon. Okay, when the water of the river is very much high. Okay, the Hilsa fish, they come for migrating and they come to lay eggs and they are caught by the fishermen and we get so many Hilsa fish coming here. Fishmongers sold nothing but Hilsa fish. Fishmongers means the businessmen who deal with fish, the people who sell fish. Okay, they sold nothing but Hilsa fish. It was very common during that time that only that fish was being sold. So one of the fishmonger we can see in the second picture is looking at people and screaming, "Come, buy. The price of Hilsa is down today." So this is the way they attract the potential buyers to take something, right? They will tell you, if you have been to a market with your guardians, you must know that how the people who sell stuff, they try to make a bargain. They try to sell something in their way, okay, by saying that it's cheaper. And whenever they say it's cheaper, people will rush to that place. Okay, so he's saying that the fish price is less. Householders could talk of nothing but Hilsa fish. Everywhere, the gossiping people were also talking of, everybody could talk of Hilsa fish only and how delicious it is. How much did you pay for that Hilsa? Look at one person. He has got a dhoti kind of dress tied around his body and he is looking or probably it's a woman. Yes, it's a woman. I'm very sorry. I did not see the picture properly. So the woman of the house is asking, how much did you pay for that Hilsa? And the man is saying, you wouldn't believe it if I told you. And that means they are so much excited with it that the man is happy because he seems to have got the fish at a good bargain, and the woman is also excited to see, the wife is also excited to see that Hilsa is going to be cooked today, and she is just asking how much it is, how much it cost you. And in the palace too, the courtiers could discuss nothing but Hilsa fish. Even in the palace of the king, even there, nothing major was being discussed except Hilsa fish. Courtiers, that means the people who attend the court, the royal court where the king sits. In that court, lots of people are there, lots of ministers are there, okay, who work under the king, for the king. So they are also talking about the same thing. What are they saying? Look at the picture. See, the king is looking at the man and listening to him in rapt attention, and see what the man is saying. Your Majesty, you should have seen the huge Hilsa I caught. It means he was boasting about his power. Okay, how much, see, I have caught such a big Hilsa. I'm such an expert person. Like that he is boasting. Then the Maharaja, the king, is saying, stop it. Then he is angry and he is screaming at his courtyard saying, stop it. Are you a courtier or a fisherman? That means, are you a courtier? Is your job to go and catch Hilsa fish, or do you have some more important things to do? So the king is not taken into the whole Hilsa frenzy, and he believes that it's not proper for a courtier to scream that he has been catching Hilsa fish. Okay. The courtier fell silent with downcast eyes. The king felt guilty. So after the courtier got a bit rebuked by the king, he fell silent because he thought that maybe I have done something wrong. And the king felt guilty because he was scolding his courtiers. So he was feeling guilty. He was not feeling good. Then the king is saying, I'm sorry, I lost my temper. It is the season for Hilsa fish and no one. And then he says he's just stopping and no one. And look at the next dialogue. Not even Gopal can stop anyone from talking about Hilsa fish, not even for 5 minutes. That is, I know that it's the season of Hilsa fish, but everybody is talking about Hilsa fish. Every person is talking about Hilsa fish. How boring could that be? And so the king is saying, not even Gopal can stop anybody from talking about Hilsa fish. Okay, so he's frustrated with the whole Hilsa frenzy. And then look at Gopal with his amusing eyes, the round eyes, and he's looking excitedly towards the king as if saying, I'm accepting the challenge. He's saying, oh, I think I could, Your Majesty. So we will find out how Gopal tries to stop people from talking about Hilsa fish. Okay, so he's saying, I think I could stop the people from talking. Then the Maharaja is again indicating at him and telling, then let me see you buy a huge Hilsa and bring it to the palace without anyone asking you a word about it. So this is your challenge. What you have to do? You have to buy a Hilsa fish and you have to bring that huge Hilsa fish to the palace, and on the way that you bring it here, nobody should ask you a question about it. Okay, then you would win. I accept the challenge, Your Majesty. So Gopal is confident. He has already thought of a plan of how to make people stop talking about Hilsa fish. Okay, so we will find out the clever way in which he is able to persuade people from not talking about Hilsa fish. This seems to be an entertaining read, and I'm sure that you are following the book as I'm reading. Okay, So we'll stop over here today. Put a tick mark and study well at home. Study what I have taught you. Study the question answers of the Rebel, which I have already put up in the assignment section. And if you have written your own answers, please share it with me. Till then, thank you.